Welcome to the countdown, everybody. It's your boy King here from Stay Tuned Sports, along with our good friend Jimbo right over there. And here we are. We are now in the top half of our preseason NFL Power Rankings countdown. Number 6 starts right now, which means only 6 weeks away from the start of the NFL season. Jimbo, and we say 6 weeks, but it's a little less than that. It's like 6-ish because I believe there's 37 days. So it actually is like 5 weeks, kind of. Yeah. As you go by days, but as like weeks and months, like so. But either way, 6 weeks away from the start of the NFL season, 37 days away from the start of the NFL season. It's there. It's close. And actually, this Thursday is the first preseason game between the Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans, the Hall of Fame game. Again, we're going to be excited because we're going to see NFL football. I'm going to watch it because of the kickoff. I want to see how the kickoff works, and I think you're going to see a lot of the, that's where you're going to see a lot of the top guys still playing. They're going to try to figure out, where everybody's going to work out the kinks of the kickoff during the preseason. Maybe the NFL too. I know I've heard a couple people say Rich Bisaccia, the special teams coordinator there for Green Bay, former interim head coach for the Raiders, probably should have been there. That's the whole thing. Said that he expects the NFL might do tweaks to the kickoff during the preseason to get ready for the regular season. So he kind of expects that as well. So we'll see. But I'm kind of excited to see that. Maybe we'll do a little test run. Maybe we'll do a little test run on Thursday. We'll talk about that later.
Nope.
We'll see.
I will be busy Thursday.
Okay, so maybe I'll do a test run.
I'll be going down to the Eagles training camps. First time in quite some time.
On-site reporting. Look at it. Where else are you getting this?
Yeah.
Where else are you going to get this top-notch reporting other than Stay Tuned Sports? Jimbo going to the scene on-site to report about the Eagles and their training camp and seeing how things are going down there. And where the hell do they train now? They used to train somewhere else, right?
Yeah, they used to train at Lehigh University.
Right.
And that was nice because it was really open to the public. More can't think of the word I'm trying to say.
Fan-friendly?
Yeah, fan-friendly. You're closer up to the players.
Accessible. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, there you go. But with the training camp at the Link, now I may go live as soon as they open the gates because you're not seated. Like, you don't have a seat. First come, first serve. So I don't care if there's a 5-year-old, 9-year-old, 13-year-old, 40-year-old. I'm throwing elbows and getting that front row.
You're Jason Kelsey in it. You're plowing right through, tush pushing it. Get the hell out of my way.
I'm gonna be like that U.S. women's rugby player, throwing stiff arms and shit like that.
Bronze medal, baby. Bronze medal. Congratulations to the U.S. I watched that earlier today. Now I sent that clip in the group chat from a couple days ago. Yeah. I forget her first name. It's like Ela Maher or something like that.
Yeah.
Absolute truck stick. Dude, she is an absolute beast. Love her. Yeah. Love USA Rugby. And today, bronze medal game. Australia's got the lead. It's 12-7. Time's running out. Clock's hit 0. U.S. has one last possession. We're deep in our own end. We're like on the 5-yard line to be to use the American football parlance. And then I forget the young lady's name. I wish I knew it right now. I'll look it up. But she got the ball. They had her pinned in. She trucked through an Australian girl, and then she was gone. Ran all the way down the field, the full field. Went all the way down, scored right in the middle between the uprights so she could kick the extra point, because right then it was tied, 12-12. We had to make the try, the conversion after that, after the try. Got it, the extra 2 points. USA wins the bronze medal, 14-12 over Australia. Congratulations, ladies. Great job there at the Olympics. Good job. And, of course, USA Women's Gymnastics, gold medal. Of course, like, what are we doing? Like, what do we even expect? Come on. USA, a little low in the gold. We're leading overall medals. A little low in the gold.
Yeah.
Right now we only got, I think, 4 gold medals now as it stands. We only got 4, but so we got, pick those numbers up. We're America. We don't, yes, silvers and bronze. That's nice. Overall medals, that's great. But Gold is what matters here. This is America, baby. We run on gold and oil, but still. Anyway, we are here. Like I said, we are 6 weeks away from the beginning of the NFL season. 37 days, I believe, as it stands right now. And it's time to just get on with it. What do we say here? So, Jimbo, let's go ahead and whooshy whoosh over here to our vertical layout. And who's your number 6 team?
I got the Cleveland Browns. I know we talked last Friday about the AFC North, and I think I had them either third place or last place. And I'm looking at my notes now. I want to know what I was thinking between both times, because in my notes I have Myles Garrett literally typed like this: Myles Garrett will take over a couple games, helping them make the playoffs. But yet, my other thing on Friday, I don't have them make the playoffs.
This is why you got to pay attention. This is why you got to pay attention to these things. You know, that's why I got to make sure. Like when I look at my stuff, I got to pay attention to it too, because I get lost.
Yeah, I mean, unlike you, I know you had all 4 teams making the playoffs. I don't see that happening. Maybe they still could get in there with a wild card, but kind of like what I said on Friday.
Yeah, you have the Browns at 8 and 9.
Yeah. Hey, we seen the Seahawks make it at 7 and 9. So.
Yeah, but that was because they were in a shitty division and they won the division with a 7 and 9 record. So that's why the AFC North is not going to be that, brother.
Yeah.
Brother.
But kind of like I said on Friday, though, if the Deshaun Watson of the Houston Texans shows up, that record could change.
Just go.
And could make the playoffs. But Myles Garrett is just a different beast. I don't agree that he should have been a defensive player. I thought the defensive player of the year.
I think TJ should have had it too, just based on the stats. He kind of had him beat in all the categories, but
I think he only got it because of him basically causing offensive lines to jump off sides.
Listen, to be fair, when we look at last year's NFL awards, DeMar Hamlin should have won for coming back from death, and they gave it to Joe Flacco anyway. So,
yeah,
there was a lot of questionable award giving last year at the NFL awards. Let's just put it out there and leave it at that.
The only other thing I would add too is it sounds like Nick Chubb is not going to start the season. It sounds like he's going to start on the PUP list or whatever list he'll be on.
Just because I thought I saw he's like lifting a ridiculous amount of weight from what I saw.
What I saw a couple of days ago is he's just starting to do vertical running, and I think it was someone from the Browns that said that they don't think he'll be starting the season, week 1.
Let's see. He's practicing now. He's doing vertical, like he's just getting into vertical running. But Browns general manager Andrew Berry says he still has a little ways to go.
Yeah,
he was seen on Friday running at full speed and doing sprints and doing some light agility work in the post-practice work. To be fair, though, I don't know if anybody remembers last year watching that game. The fact that man is walking is his knee was a hamburger. It was shredded to shit.
And he did the same thing in college.
Who was that? Willis McGahee. I'll never forget Willis McGahee in the national championship game for Miami against Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
When he got hit, his body moved, his lower half of his leg stayed right where it was. I remember watching that. I remember seeing it to this day. I don't ever want to see that again. But holy shit. Watching that Nick Chubb thing last season was akin to that. So just the fact that he's not just running, but walking at all and doing light agility work is mind-blowing. So, but what this tells me, though, is that he's going to play this year at some point.
Oh, yeah. I definitely could see him playing, but I don't think he could. I don't think he's in the part of his career now that he could take the load just because of these injuries now. But he'll be a good, like how Willis McGahee was with I believe the Bills. He was a good third down back or, second down back. So if they could get a run game going there, get the Deshaun Watson from Houston, they possibly could move up this list. But it all boils down to Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson, because defense is still going to be good, just as good as last year, if not better.
The current Browns running back depth chart is Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford, Deontay Foreman, and Nyheim Hines. And both Chubb and Hines are currently listed as out due to injuries. So, I mean, clearly we know with Nick Chubb why. So that's their depth chart right now as far as running back.
Yeah.
So they're going to need him back at some point. Like, he is the guy. And then it's the question, does he have the same, will he run just as angry as he did before that injury? Because a lot of people try to say, like, oh, it's not going to weigh on my mind. It's not going to do any of that, but it's hard if you've been through that. Like, anything like that, you're going to think, is it going to stand up? Like, you don't know. That's what I worry about with my boy, Daniel Jones. He was known before everything for, running around, being able to go, very athletic quarterback. Is he going to try to plant a leg and move like he did before? Or is he going to take more sacks? Is he going to throw the ball away earlier? Like, is something like that going to happen? I think that's a question that happens with a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of running back. Anybody who's had the ACL injury is, how do you do that? And that's it. Nick Chubb didn't just have an ACL injury. He had a knee injury.
Yeah, whole thing.
Like, that thing was just ripped to all living hell. But to that extent, if Deshaun Watson reverts back to his Houston form, away from the massage parlors,
yes.
If Nick Chubb plays well and is able to get back healthy, you're talking about they have Amari Cooper still as a wide receiver. Still one of the better receivers in the NFL. Who they got now? They got Jerry Jeudy, who's questionable. I'm not sure. Jerry Jeudy marks me as somebody who could be very good and just has never reached that potential. Now, is that because he was in Denver and everybody in Denver has sucked since Peyton Manning retired? Maybe. But he has to make that next step. I think they have enough pieces offensively to make it work. But what's going to make the Browns win games is that defense.
Yeah.
And I do believe that they have enough and will do well enough to win. Now, I find it hilarious because you have the Browns here at 6. I have the Browns at, I think, 11. Yeah. I have the Browns lower, but I think they're going to win a division. You have the Browns at 6 and think they're missing the playoffs and are below 500. So, just to goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, we're on top of it. We're the experts. Of course we know what we're doing. Of course we know. We don't make contradicting picks and things like that. Not at all. Not at all. Here's what I'll go about it. And this is how I'll explain it. This is how we're looking at the power rankings going into week 1.
Yes.
When we do our Friday forecast, when we do our what we think the divisions will be, we're looking again through a whole season. We're going through each and every game, and what those results are what they are when we come out on the end of it. And again, it's not that we're coordinating so much between what our current power rankings is and where teams are going to end up. And again, the other thing too is injuries can always happen during the season. You're never quite sure. You don't know what's going on. So that's what I'll say. I'll say you having the Browns at 6 on your power rankings to start the season, but then also thinking they're going to miss the playoffs is a bit wild.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a Skip Bayless kind of situation.
And the funny part is, like, if this was last year, we could chalk it up to, it's just Jimbo trying to get a rouse out of King. But I'm actually taking this like
this is legitimate. This one is legitimate.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's Jimbo. That's Jimbo's Number 6 team going into the NFL season, his preseason top 6. He has, as we go over all the time, he has the Jets at 12. He has the Packers at 11 with Jordan Love getting that. Listen, we'll talk about it tomorrow on the show.
Yeah, because I got some stuff about it.
I got some things to say. You have the Dolphins at 10, same as I do. You have the Cowboys at 9, Bengals at 8, your Philadelphia Eagles at number 7, and the Cleveland Browns at number 6. So that is where you lie. Now, as for myself, my number 6 team is, funnily enough, a connection to Deshaun Watson, as we were talking about. Not that kind of connection. It's a different. That's a completely different thing.
Nope.
It's the Houston Texans. I have there at number 6, starting off my top half of the list going into the NFL season. A lot of expectations right now in Houston. Going into last season, not so much. They had just come off maybe one of the worst seasons. They had the number 1 pick, rookie quarterback, rookie coach. Defense is not great. I believe PFF has them ranked currently still as like a 23 overall defense, so not great on the defensive side. But boy, did the Texans really just come out of the gates, and CJ Stroud absolutely just blew everybody away with how he was able to play and have a command so quickly in the NFL, of the NFL system. So, I mean, amazing work. And then you look at also the weapons they have, and you got to remember that Tank Dell was gone for a lot of the year because of the injury he sustained halfway through. So the Texans were able to make it to the AFC divisional round even without one of their best weapons.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about the Texans. They got C.J. Stroud. Now, I do think they have a little bit of a decline on the running back, losing Devin Singletary and picking up Joe Mixon. I think Singletary overall was a better runner and a better running back there. But we'll see. Maybe Joe Mixon, because he did well in Cincinnati with a not great offensive line. So Joe Mixon was able to go ahead and make enough of a name of himself in running there in Cincinnati, as well as other stuff. But we'll leave that off the table for now. And then you got to figure they have Tank Dell, who's coming back off of injury. They have Nico Collins, who was huge for them late in the season and in the playoffs, especially that game against the Browns. Oh, and then Stephon fucking Diggs just joined them. Like, now, year 1 Stephon Diggs is going to be something. Now, when we see year 2 or 3 Stephon Diggs, we'll see. We'll get there. But usually year 1 Stephon Diggs. Now, again, there's already been a couple of fights or a couple of tussles there in training camp, and I chalked it up to just being training camp. That's what happens. That's how it is. That's how it goes. And so I like to see that. A little fire, a little desire, a little fire in the belly. You got fire in the gut, like the Arizona coach would say. You got some fire in your belly? Are you on the bus with fire in your belly? I don't know. I like spicy wings, so maybe I do. I don't know. If I got a fire in my belly, that usually means I had a little too much coffee. I got to hit the head. I don't know. But you figure all that. Also, oh, wow, yeah, I forgot to say, Dalton Schultz, tight end. Great safety valve there for CJ. Although when you figure he's got Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell, how are you going to cover all 3 of them? And if they happen to do that, then you still have Dalton Schultz there as a safety valve. But Dalton may not be getting a lot of looks this year. Just going to say. When you have basically what could be 2 number 1s and a number 2 wide receiver, right? I mean, it's Texans offensively can be dangerous. Defensively is where they, I think, are going to have a little bit more of the struggles. Now, Will Anderson Jr. was a Pro Bowler last year. He's one of the better players. He's kind of an anchor there on that defense, along with Derek Barrett and Derek Stingley Jr. there in the defensive backfield there. That's their core, I think, of defensive players, of their good defensive players anyway. Are they going to be good enough to hold off some of the other teams, some of the scoring, to allow their offense to, do your thing, do your stuff? Maybe. I think they're going to be good enough to where they can, again, challenge for a division title, challenge to get into the playoffs. And if they do get into the playoffs, I think they can make some damage. Again, I think the AFC South has improved this year. Again, I think Indianapolis has improved, plus they're getting Anthony Richardson back. So I think the Colts are better. They're not on my list here, but I think they're better than what they were last year. So that's something to watch out for. Jacksonville, if Trevor Lawrence can play the way his contract says he can play, and if he plays like he did if he grows from 2 years ago and not last year, because last year was a regression for him.
Yeah.
So if he kind of throws out last year, looks at the year before, and makes a growth off of that, maybe that you have Jacksonville back in there. I don't see a lot from Tennessee, but then again, who knows? It's always a surprise team. You never know. But I think the AFC South, outside of Tennessee, I think everybody has improved. But that also means I do think the Texans have improved as well. Clearly, they got Stephon Diggs. That whether he's a locker room cancer or not, at least anyway, in year one, that's a massive step up. That's a massive step up from in talent level, and I mean, it has to be recognized. So, with that, everything put together, is me picking the Texans 6th to start the season, me saying they're going to make the playoffs? Not necessarily. And you'll find out more about that when we cover the AFC South on Friday forecast. Coming up Friday, which we will be covering the AFC South and making our predictions for the season on that division. But I think they're going to be one of the better teams, at least going into the season. Now, again, can everybody stay healthy? Can all these things happen? Yes. But I think right now, out of the gates, when you're looking at all these teams, from what we know, and all we know is what's on paper. Nobody's played a game yet. We don't know. We don't know if there's been any injuries yet, no preseason injuries or anything like that. And maybe that's something, too. Maybe we'll look at right before week one. Maybe we'll do a quick preseason injury report and maybe reshuffle our entire deck. I have no idea. So maybe this is all worthless. I don't know. But I think for right now, I think the Texans are going into the season. I think they are the number 6 team in the NFL, and I'll take that. And I have them above the Lions, which I know some people might be like, "The fuck is wrong with you?" I get that. I understand that, but I think if you take this Texans offense and match it up against that Detroit offense, I think the Texans offense bodies them. But then I think
it'd be a good game.
But then I think you look at the defenses, and you take that Texans defense and the Lions defense. I think the Lions defense is significantly better than Houston's right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's closer than a lot of people think. So we'll see, and we'll see after week one. We'll see what everybody does, and we'll probably have a whole new list when we go into the countdown, going post season start there. But for now, I think that's what we got there. My top 12 as it stands right now, just to recap. Number 12, I have your Tampa Bay Buccaneers from the NFC South at number 12. I have the Cleveland Browns, which you have at 6. I have at 11. Meanwhile, I have them winning the division. You have them not making the playoffs. So, again, we're all over the place here. We both have the Dolphins at 10. I have the Bengals at 9. I have your Philadelphia Eagles at 8. I have the Detroit Lions at 7. And starting off the top half of the power rankings, I have the Houston Texans at 6. So we have, what do we have coming up? We have the main show coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
We have the main show coming up tomorrow. We have Friday forecast on Friday, clearly. Might do a little testing during the Hall of Fame game. Maybe. I know you're going to be down at camp, and that's fine. I might just be doing something to test some stuff out and see how we're doing, graphics wise and things like that, just to get a base. So you can, if you want to, you can join us, watch along with that. It's going to be mostly that, just trying to work out some bugs, work out some kinks, and see what we're doing as far as that goes. Anything coming up in the weekend here, Jimbo?
We got SummerSlam Saturday. I think SummerSlam is going to be a hell of a card.
Yeah, SummerSlam. SummerSlam's coming. I'm looking forward to what do we got? Gunther versus Damian Priest for the World
That should be a good one.
Championship. I want to see that.
I'm interested to see my girl Rhea.
Rhea versus Liv. I love Liv too. She's a Jersey girl, and I will always defer to the Jersey girl. But I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know how that's going to turn out. I miss Alexa. I wish Alexa would come back.
I'm surprised she hasn't.
At some point, you know. But we'll see. Maybe, who knows? Listen, she's made more than enough money. She's got a new kid. You know, she's just chilling at home, being a mom, and married to weird hat guy. You know, and Ryan Cabrera. You know, that would be something to really toot your horn about in 2002. But I mean, I don't know now. Whatever. Hey, listen. Love is love. Love is love. So we'll just that is what it is. I just wish I wish he was back in the ring. You know, I missed that. But some great stuff. Does Roman come back at SummerSlam? Maybe
that's
come
the big
after old Sikoa there. I don't know. There's lots of cool stuff.
Win, and is that why Roman comes back?
That would be cool. Huh? That would be cool. So I guess there we go. So we got SummerSlam. We got football starting on Thursday with preseason Hall of Fame game. Hall of Fame enshrinement, obviously, this weekend as well. To see some of the speeches, I always like seeing. You know, that it's always fun to watch the Hall of Fame inductions. You got SummerSlam happening. You're going to be down at Eagles camp. Lots of great shit going on. So again, we're starting to come out of the summer doldrums. We're starting to come out. Winds starting to pick up. We're starting to hit the trade winds, and we're starting to get closer. Soon we're going to sight land, and we're going to be deep in the NFL season. And then the problem is the NFL season is going to start, and you're going to blink, and it's going to be over.
Yeah.
So just remember this time, remember now, and remember when the NFL season comes. Even if it's a game on Thursday that you think is boring and you don't like, remember to enjoy it. Remember to just take it in, because there will be a time when there's nothing. And guess what? The Olympics aren't going to be around next year. So what are we going to do? Just sit here and just watch the Yankees collapse again? Like, what are we even going to do? It's not even worth it. So, but one more thing, and I had a brain fart, and I was going to say, thank you everybody who is watching and who has subscribed to us. If you are watching us and you want to go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. Right down there, you can do all those cool things right down in the buttons down there. Like, share, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, let you know whenever we're going to post something, whether it's this countdown, or it's the main podcast, or it's Friday Forecast, or it's a live stream, which there will be a lot of coming up once the NFL season starts. And who knows, we might do a WWE event live, or UFC. Jimbo loves watching UFC, doing his lives during that. There's lots of things that we're doing. So you can go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and share us around. Just, share our stuff to social media. Be like, hey, check out these guys. I watch them. I like them. They're a little goofy. They're kind of dumb, but I like them. Go check them out. Man, kind of funny maybe. I don't know. That'd be great. Thank you so very much, though, for watching, for subscribing, for just dealing with us and listening to us. And it's something that we love doing, and we love the fact that you guys love watching us and subscribing to us. I know there's only a couple subscribers right now, and we truly do appreciate all of you guys that do so right now. And thank you to the, 47? 47 subscribers right now?
47, yeah.
So thank you again to the 47 of you who are subscribed to us. It is very much appreciated, and we do thank you very much. But until next Tuesday, the next countdown, I'm your boy King. Again, that's your good friend Jimbo. And we're gone. Adios.